Today, I'm going to teach you 5 sleazy dealership tactics that cost you guys money every time you fall for them. Stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, my name's Billy. I'm a car buying expert and I love saving you money at the dealership. If you're buying a brand new vehicle, always check the manufacturer's website for incentivized special APR financing, any rebates you might be qualifying for that you're leaving on the table. Never trust the dealership to do this for you. And more importantly, when it comes to financing, always assume the dealership doesn't want you to use incentivized financing. And if you don't bring it up, they probably won't either. The reason is they don't make much money when you use incentivized financing. When you're getting those special rates like 3.9, 2.9, and 0%, the dealership makes like a couple $100. And if we don't remember to tell the dealership when we go to the dealership that we want those rates, if we qualify for them, of course, then they're probably going to avoid talking about them altogether and just give us the much higher rates. Of course, this will cost us thousands of dollars in interest, and we'll never even know that we would have qualified for a much better rate, but they would know the whole time. If you're looking at used vehicles, remember to check out brand new. A lot of times the discounts are huge on brand new vehicles, especially ones that aren't selling very good. And your salesman's usually not going to tell you, let's look at brand new if they're not making as much money on the deal. And on a brand new one where they're giving tons of discounts, they ain't making shit. So they're going to push you to the pre-owned one. So do your homework, find out which ones have better discounts. And sometimes you can get the new one down to the price of the used one. In other words, don't take your salesperson's word for it. Do your own homework, find out the best deal you can get on new and used, and weigh the pros versus the cons. Okay, this slimy dealership tactic, I think probably everybody's heard of at this point. It's called the bait and switch. Basically, they're going to advertise this exceptional deal on a vehicle that everybody wants, and then when you call, they're going to say, come in, take a look. When you get there, the vehicle is going to magically have already sold just before you got there, but they have this other one that's just like it without the discount. Dealerships know which vehicles get the most calls on their website, so if a vehicle that was really popular sells, a lot of times they will deliberately leave the vehicle up on the website for an extra week just to generate more calls to the dealership that they hopefully can convert and flip. This is actually super easy to avoid. Just call the dealership and ask them to take a picture of the VIN on the vehicle and then verify that the VIN is the same VIN as you're seeing in the ad. It should be that easy. If the dealership won't send this picture or says, why don't you come in, just tell them to kick rocks. Tip number 4, stop letting your salesperson talk you into running your credit before you have agreed on the out-the-door number. The out-the-door number is a reflection of all the taxes and fees that you're going to be charged by the dealership in addition to the sale price. So find out what everything comes to before you say, yes, let's run my credit and get a hard inquiry, because if you don't agree with that number, there's no reason to find out what your credit yields for an interest rate. 5th and final tip, when you agree on the total out-the-door price, you get the financing figured out, you know everything, all the numbers look good, make sure they give you a copy of that. Before you go into the finance office, you want to have something that you can reference that you just signed, making sure all the numbers the finance guy is giving you correspond with the numbers you just agreed to. I know this sounds crazy, but in that short time from one office to another, the price can completely change. The finance manager can add things to there. He can manipulate your finance rate, your term. So make sure you double check and don't just sign things. If you have any questions on anything you're signing, then is the time to ask, because when you leave, they're going to say, hey, you didn't have to sign the contract. I'm not speaking for every dealership out there. Of course, there's going to be some good dealerships out there, but even great salesmen at great dealerships can give you a shitty deal. So in my opinion, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Guys, I hope this was helpful, and for more tips, tricks, and hacks that are definitely pissing dealerships off everywhere, please follow Billy the Car Kid.